No pressure.
No pressure. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. My name is Christie Nix. I get the pleasure of introducing Christine Hancock. First, though, I want to say a little shout out to our military spouses on here. You guys are a special caliber of people. And it took me a while to learn that. We've all heard of the stereotypical spouses. And we've probably all watched Army Wives and seen every stereotypical spouse. And when I first met my husband, I thought that everyone was like that. So I strayed away from it. And I wish I wouldn't have, because in this journey, I have found that these women are like none other. They're the most resilient people I've ever met. They are the best moms I've ever met. They can make magic happen no matter what kind of problem is happening. You guys are pretty badass women. So thank you so much for taking times out of your extremely busy schedules to get on here and hear about this opportunity. If you've been invited to this call is not about recruiting. You know, a lot of people think that multi-level marketing and network marketing is all about that. And with Juice Plus, it's not. Most of the people who make up our business are 90% customers, 10% distributors. So we're being choosy. We're offering up this opportunity because we see something incredibly special about you, and we see a potential of being able to take this business wherever you prefer to take it. So know that first and foremost. When I first was introduced to Juice Plus, I was out in Hawaii, and I was introduced by one of my friends who I was actually a nanny for at the time in college. And she's a personal trainer, and she shared Juice Plus with me. And honestly, it didn't make sense to me. And then she introduced it. She had her husband, who's a doctor, hold this healthy living party. And he talked about the importance of fruits and vegetables and, of course, Juice Plus. And I walked away thinking, okay, fruits and vegetables totally makes sense. Juice Plus, no, why would I listen to a doctor? I was in college. I knew everything. So luckily, my husband has a very smart nurse friend. And when he was deployed in Iraq, she told him about it. And I think that's critical because our military, our guys, even women, whoever is deployed, they're making the biggest sacrifices to be able to take care of us at home. They're under really stressful conditions. They're not eating healthy foods. So what they have over there is not enough for what they're sacrificing. So I'm so glad that people are sharing fruits and vegetables in a capsule with our military because they need to protect their bodies with all the things that they're combated with. So my husband, it made sense to him immediately. He mailed it to me. I opened the box up and I rolled my eyes and thought, you just wasted your money. But because I love to prove my husband wrong, I took Juice Plus. And it was the most amazing thing I could have ever put in my body. And I remember saying this, and I hate to say the V word, but I call them vitamins. They're not vitamins, they're food. And, if you want to learn more about that, ask the person who invited you. But it was a really big insult to call them a vitamin. And I remember thinking, this for the first time was the first time I've ever put something in my body where I felt a difference. I had more energy. My skin had cleared up. I was sleeping better. I was more alert. I was recovering from exercise. You'll hear that, I'm sure, from Christine. But that made a huge difference. And I thought, this has got to be put into every single person's body. So we canceled our order after that. even though I thought it was the greatest thing ever, I couldn't remember to eat the capsules. And then all of a sudden I heard about plant-based nutrition, and I got it like that. Finally, I got educated, and I realized that as a vegan, I still wasn't getting 9 to 14 servings of fruits and vegetables. So then I got back on Juice Plus, and I vowed I was never going to work the business. And here I am now being able to share this opportunity with everyone. So I ask you this. If someone invited you to do this, I was invited, and a long time ago, they had applications, that they handed you in paper form, and I filed it in a cabinet for years. And I ask you tonight to not file this in a cabinet. Don't put this in the back of your head. I ask you to ask the person who invited you the really tough questions, or one of us. Doesn't matter who you talk to. We want to answer all the questions for you, all your big skeptical questions, so that you have a full understanding of what this opportunity is. Okay? So please give us that. I really, really beg and plead for you to do that. This is the perfect business, if you can see it that way. And I want to go through, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I want you guys to see this list, and it's an infographic. And Christine found it, and she's just so fantastic. It's called The Perfect Business from the Dow Theory Letters. And basically, when you're thinking about investing in a business or joining one, you really have to do your homework. You really have to think what's best for you, what's best for your family. So first off, I want to talk about the global market. We're all military spouses. If you don't know someone who's stationed in a different country, I truly believe you haven't expanded your market, because everyone has been there at some point, and we're in over 20 countries. And that's not the easiest thing to do, to be able to get food marketed in different countries. There's a lot of different rules that you have to go through. But here's what I love. If Christine was going to get stationed in Ramstein, Germany, and there was already a distributor over there, she would be able to work that. I know there's a lot of business who have territories where they're like, oh, nope, somebody's already covering that space. You got to find something different. No, what would happen is Christine would lock arms with that Juice Plus rep over there, and they would kill it over there. They would get more fruits and vegetables and bodies. So I love that there's no territories. We have a product that everybody needs. Most people are not eating 9 to 14 servings of fruits and vegetables in a day. And if they are, more than likely, the quality of the produce is actually really, really low. It's probably been picked way before the peak of ripeness. It's probably traveled 1,500 miles or more to get to them. It's not quality. Juice Plus, you want to talk about quality? We'll get into that too. But the bottom line is anyone can have Juice Plus. Christine probably is going to tell you about how she had it when she was pregnant. She'll probably also tell you about how her grandma introduced it to you. So there's no age limit on what Juice Plus can go in the body. It's safe for everyone. Please hear me when I say this. Pregnancy, breastfeeding, the whole gamut. And you can't overdose on it. Kids who love the gummies can love the gummies. It's awesome. This can't be copied. There's no way you can make this in your kitchen. But there is a safe way that it has been done. And what I love is that it's not just this hocus pocus miracle drug. This is fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And what it does for your body does the same thing that fruits and vegetables do. It's not meant to replace what fruits and vegetables that we eat. We want to eat more. But this says, these 30 gold standard studies says that fruits and vegetables get into your body and it does good things for your body. And we've been in the market for 23 years. And the best is truly yet to come. So if you are a military spouse, more than likely you have had to rework your professional life around PCS moves, children, all sorts of things that the military brings in. Well, this, my friends, you can work your business from your mobile device. You don't even need a computer. This makes it too incredibly easy. And what I love is that Juice Plus, they manufacture it, they ship the orders to your customers, they bill your customer, and they pay you and your team. You are basically a glorified storyteller. So, and it doesn't mean you have to have experience with a product before you start sharing, because again, we have the 30 clinical double-blind peer-reviewed studies that say it does good things for the body. And doesn't it make sense that no one is eating the required amount of fruits and vegetables that we should be having, and sickness and disease is on the rise? So what does it involve? Pretty much really low overhead. You don't have to rent a space. You don't have to have your garage full of products. You just can have your products. And oh, by the way, this is something that I love, is you don't have to have, you don't have to buy a certain amount every single month. There's none of that. It's amazing. You don't have to advertise. You just, like I said, work from your phone. $50 investment, zero risk. I mean, you make that $50 back after sharing this with a couple of people. There are some other fees that are included, but these are business investments and they're so minimal that you don't notice it. But they are all tax write-offs. So if you're interested in learning more, again, let us know. Cash billings, basically when it comes to the cash billings, if you've owned your own business before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to go through this whole process. You don't have to hem and haw of, do I want to join this business? It's a simple yes or no. It's definitely worth taking the dive. Minimal regulations. Juice Plus takes care of any regulations. They're the ones who are taking care of when they ship to a new country, when they open a new country. We simply have the tried and proven system. We have people who went before us, made it to the top of the marketing plan and said how they did it. And what we find is there's a trend. Everybody does some very simple things. So if you can be teachable, you can do this business. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. You want to help people understand how you did it. I love this because as we're military spouses, I've moved 8 times in 7 years, about to be 9 in 8. This is portable. This business can go anywhere with you, even when you're on vacation. The amount of people that I talk to when I've been on an airplane has been amazing to share this with them. I mean, they're right next to me. And if they talk about health, I'm going to tell them about Juice Plus. I never anticipated that Juice Plus would meet my intellectual needs. Ever, ever, ever. This has been said over and over again. The Juice Plus virtual franchise is a course in personal development, cleverly disguised as a business. It truly is. If I could tell you how much I've seen, not only myself, but my team members, my best friends who I've chosen to bring into this company, to see them grow, it has been amazing. To the point where one of my best friends' husband, he pulled me into a room at a party and he said, I really want to thank you for getting my wife back. We have all lost ourselves because we have lost our careers. We're not doing what we thought we were going to do. Juice Plus brings you back. This is your business. This is your retail space, and you get to do with it what you want. Time freedom. You don't have to ask time off for work. You are your own boss. You make your own hours, and you work this business in stolen moments. No one really has made this to the top of this business by working full time. You find stolen moments, and there's exponential growth. You put in some really hard work in 3 to 5 years, and you compress a lifetime's of work in it. You get to earn what you feel you're worth. And sometimes people don't feel like they're worth much at all. But when you work with the Juice Plus company, you learn how to dream again, just like kids who think they can be astronauts and they actually really can. That's what this Juice Plus does for you. You are not limited by your personal output. You build a team together and you have excitement and belief, and you would not believe what is possible. So that's a little bit about how we fit into the perfect business. And now I want to tell you about the perfect person, and it is Christine Hancock. Christine is the second person that I met in this business. And I didn't think I was going to take my business seriously until I realized that military spouses need this business. She has been the most kind person I have ever met. She really made me realize that this is definitely worth working. So if you didn't get to read her bio, it's amazing, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about right now. Christine is a runner. She's been running since she was in her childhood. She's been active in health and fitness ever since. And like I mentioned, because of her grandma, she became a customer in Juice Plus in 1996. This is a Juice Plus baby, you guys. She received her bachelor's degree from the University of Washington, and then later on she got her master's of science in nutrition, along with certificates as a personal trainer, indoor cycling coach, and a running coach. She built a Washington State team in training cycling programs, and she's also coached numerous people to complete their first half marathon and full marathon, and she has completed 6 full ones and 11 halves. In 2013, her and her husband committed to the Transform 30 program. And that profoundly changed Christine. She started running faster than she did in her 20s, and she started placing regularly in the top 5 in her age group. But Christine, really what she wanted in life was simply to be a mom. And they'd been trying to conceive for over a decade. And with the help of the T30 lifestyle and fertility treatment, her dream came true. In April 2015, Christine gave birth to a thriving little boy, and he is adorable. After 8 months of maternity leave, she's decided to return to work part-time, enjoying the independent benefits of Juice Plus in her business. And she is grateful for the portable career that helped her rediscover her confidence, her identity, and her loves, and her new role in life. And she's found great work in mommy life balance. And her husband, Jeff, is a retired F-18 pilot, and he's living fatherhood to his fullest. He's enjoying working alongside Christine with their Juice Plus business. So without further ado, the woman of the hour, Christine Hancock.
Wow, can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Christy. Just listening to you, share the business, the perfect business, you can just hear your passion through your words, and I just admire you so much. And thank you for that nice introduction. I have some notes here because I have, as you shared, since 1996, I've been taking Juice Plus, so I have quite a few stories to share. But I also want to thank everybody for being on the call. There's several parts of my story, as Christy shared. I've been taking it for 20 years, and it was actually my grandma who first started taking it, but my mom had been the first one to purchase it. So this is in 1996. She purchased a box of Juice Plus, and she did it as a favor for a friend, because at the time my mom, living a healthy lifestyle, she was juicing at the time, and she was taking vitamins and thinking she was doing everything right. But she purchased this box of Juice Plus and just tucked it away in the cupboard. Well, my grandmother was out visiting from Florida, and we were in the Seattle area, and she'd had some health challenges, and so she wasn't eating very well. Her energy wasn't there. I mean, my grandmother was I always like to say, the original Energizer Bunny, because she always was just full of energy. But when she visited us, we don't know if it was the jet lag or something, but she just wasn't her normal self. And she wasn't eating, like I mentioned, and my mom wanted to make sure she was getting some nutrition, but my grandma can't take vitamins. And so my mom started looking through her cupboards, and she found the Juice Plus, and she said, "Here, Mom, why don't you try some of these? It's just fruits and vegetables." So my grandmother, willingly, she started to take them, and she noticed a change in her body right away. She actually became regular. And that was an issue, especially, with elderly people. It's harder for them to be regular, and especially the medications that she was taking. So that was a big deal for her, and she liked to share that with everybody she came across, everybody she met while she was visiting us. But she was telling my mom, "Mary, this is good for you. You need to buy this for the girls, buy this for everybody." Mom's like, "Oh yeah, we're fine." But then we started noticing a difference in my grandma, but we thought maybe perhaps it was just that, she was with her grandchildren and maybe the jet lag had worn off. But she was able to walk up a flight of stairs without stopping. She was able to go from the dock to the boat unassisted. I mean, she was just back to her normal self. So we did not put two and two together. We really didn't think it was the Juice Plus that was giving her all that energy back. But my grandma, about 3 weeks later, went back to Florida, and her physician, Dr. Barrero, and I can say his name because he's no longer around, he called my mom, and they didn't really see eye to eye, because he would prescribe my grandmother, all kinds of medications. My mom would question him, and so he called my mom, and he said, "Mrs. Foley, what have you been giving your mother?" And of course, my mom's defense went up, and she's like, "It's just fruits and vegetables and capsules." And he says, No, I'm sorry. Just please continue to give your mother those capsules, because her blood has never looked so good in all the 15 years that I've been working with her. So this is before our Juice Plus studies, the clinical studies were done on Juice Plus. And so we knew before then, and now there's over 30 studies, clinical studies, that Juice Plus was bioavailable. It did get into the body. It did amazing things to improve biomarkers. We knew that because of my grandmother. So of course, immediately my mom bought everybody in the family a box of Juice Plus. And I wanted the box because it was free fruits and vegetables for me, and I knew they were important. I was in my 20s at the time, so now you all know my age. So she bought me this box, and I immediately started taking it, because at the time, this is in the 90s, I actually leased a quarter share of a lot at an organic farm, and every week on Wednesdays I would drive 20 miles from where I lived to go pick up my big grocery bag full of vegetables. But I also knew, and I did that because I knew I needed to eat vegetables, but I also knew that most of them were going to rot in my fridge. So I gave half of them to my mom, and the other half still rotted in the bottom of my fridge. Because being single and living on my own, I found it was so much easier to eat fruit. That was just easy to peel an orange or wash some cherries, or wipe off a pear or an apple. But vegetables, you have to scrub them, you got to clean them, you got to chop them, and possibly have to steam them. And I didn't have time for that. So Juice Plus absolutely made sense to me. It was a no-brainer. I was a personal trainer at the time, and so it also made sense for just the recovery like you were talking about. I was running, what I did notice though was the energy. But I always felt like I was my 20s. I had the energy anyway, but I didn't get sick like my friends were getting sick. So that was a big deal for me. That's what I noticed right away. And so my mom, she was a smart one. She decided to do the business. She saw immediately, yes, this is just brilliant. Everybody needs fruits and vegetables. My mother benefited from it, and she had all these, health complications or whatever, these challenges. Everybody can benefit. So she wanted me to do the business. I'm like, no, it's not for me. I'm an introvert, Mom. You're social. This is totally for you. But she's like, but you're a personal trainer. This would be perfect with you to do this alongside your business or working at the gym. And I said, no, it's not for me. So I'm going to fast forward now. Like I said, there's a lot of parts to my story. So I got married, and I met this wonderful man. Actually, I met him when I was 5 years old. He was 8 at the bus stop. But it took us, many years later. We went to the same elementary, different high schools, and we both went to University of Washington, saw each other on campus. But even then, we didn't date. It wasn't until years after that our paths crossed. And so I married Jeff. He was actually out of the Marine Corps at the time. He was living in Kuwait, and he was the chief pilot for Boeing's F-18 program. The Kuwait Air Force has an F-18 program. And so, I moved to health education. I had my degree in education, and I'm seeing internet connections unstable. Okay, you there? And then 9/11 happened. They were when 9/11 happened, and our life there just seemed different. Okay, I think you lost me.
There you are. That's much better.
Okay, I don't know where it cut off, but so we were in Kuwait and then 9/11 happened. Did you see that part?
Yep.
Okay. So right then my husband knew, because of just the atmosphere in Kuwait changed. Everything, it just didn't seem as fun anymore. It didn't seem as safe. And so he knew immediately he had to resign from Boeing, because he needed to activate back in the Marine Corps. So we left Kuwait and we ended up living with my parents for just a couple months while he was getting activated back to the Marine Corps before our move to San Diego. And he knew my mom did this Juice Plus business because, of course, when Jeff married me, he had to start taking Juice Plus. And but he knew it was her own business, but from the looks of it, it didn't look like a traditional business to him. I mean, she was having fun, and she was on phone calls, and she was going to luncheons and going to events. He started going to events with her, and he saw everybody there was happy and healthy, and he was like, this is very interesting, because my husband also, he may have the MOS as a fighter pilot, but he's got the business builder brain, and he's got also a mind for finances, and he just saw this as a great investment, to get involved with whatever this business was. So he wanted to learn more about it. So my mom gave him her manual, the franchise manual, and he read it like a good Marine, sat there and read it from cover to cover. And he closed that book, and he looks at me and he says, why haven't you done this business, honey? I said, because it's my mom's business. It's not for me. And he said, no, this is the perfect business. And I put together business plans, but this is portable. This is everything like Christie mentioned, listed off. And he said, when I retire from Marine Corps, I want us to do this as a business. And I said, really? And so we moved to San Diego, and here I'm in a new environment. I'm a new military spouse. Even though my dad was also he was a fighter pilot in the Marine Corps, an F-8 pilot. I didn't grow up in the military life because he was a reservist and I was young. I don't remember much of that at all. But this whole military lifestyle was new to me. The wives that I was meeting in the squadron, they had all known each other for years. They had gone to flight school with their husbands, and and I just felt a little bit like an outsider. And here I am as an introvert, and I have this new business, and it was just those two do not mix. New environment, new business together, not good for me. So it was really hard to get started. So I thought, well, I know I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to get my master's in nutrition, because with that credential, people will listen to me. They'll just want to know what I do, and they'll just take Juice Plus because I'm going to recommend it. Well, let me just tell you, if you're thinking about doing this business, do not go back to school to get a nutrition degree. It's going to be a waste of your time. I'm grateful that I have that knowledge, but you do not need that to do this business. We learn by default. Is everybody there? Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. We learn by default in this business from medical professionals and from people that we're surrounded with about nutrition. Our company is just great support in that. And so that distracted me for many years. But the nice thing is that I was sharing Juice Plus. I was building a customer base, just very part-time as a hobby. I was adding team members. My best and one of my dearest friends, a couple of them, they became distributors, and they didn't even live in San Diego. So things were, slowly. I was getting, $200 a month, $500 a month. My check was increasing each month. And but what my husband and I decided is that we're going to put that money aside and put it in a savings account, and just like pretend I'm not even working, because I'm working on this master's of nutrition. So I just started sharing just as a hobby Juice Plus, and like I said, started to build a nice customer base. And then we got orders with PCS in 2007 overseas, and we went back to the Middle East, and we were actually really excited because we had vacationed in the United Arab Emirates. We were stationed there at the embassy in Abu Dhabi, and what we realized too when I was there is that, wow, this business is portable, because I was able to share Juice Plus with these other expats that were living there, these people that were also attached to the embassy. They had APO addresses, and then all the expats that I met that were not attached to the embassy, they would travel home at least 3 times a year. So they'd go home and get their Juice Plus. So my customer base started building and building. My paycheck started, building and building, and I didn't really look at it either. And then I even, living in the United Arab Emirates, I developed some lifelong friends. I have some lifelong Juice Plusers, and I also I got a few team members. And sorry, there's just a message on there that said 10 minutes. So I'm going to be quick. So we ended up moving back to, my husband's last tour of duty was back in our home state of Washington in 2010. And when we moved back, a lot of things changed. This hobby that I had and all that income that I'd earned actually equated to a nice, huge sum of money that we were able to put on a down payment on a home. That's when things started to like really click in my mind, like, wow, maybe this is a business. I knew that though, that for things to change, I really needed to change, because I had all the belief in this company and in the product. I mean, the product, absolutely, everybody needs fruits and vegetables. It's a no-brainer. But the company too, I believed I saw through my mom's business, and just going to, events and stuff in the conference and seeing these people that work at the home office. I mean, they're normal people. They're approachable and they're fun. And so I believed, plus the company itself is 45 years old. I just knew I had belief in this product and the company, but something else was lacking, and it was me. It was my belief in myself, and it was my business skills. I lacked business skills. So this time everything was seeming to come together with seeing the income that I had earned. And Mitra created the Transform 30. The Taro Gardens were now available for us to share and to grow our own food. So let me just look at my notes, because I knew I'm kind of in a rush here since we only have 8 minutes left. But so what I learned though is that in all those years is that 85% of sales in life actually happen by word of mouth. So I was just doing everything that I was supposed to do. But I needed to embrace this career and see it as a career. So I decided just a couple years ago to go pro, and that means to go professional in this network marketing business. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with Eric Worre, but he has a great book called Go Pro. And he shares that, if you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, and whether it's just a little bone in your foot even, like I like to say, is that, take a look at network marketing, because it has all the benefits of a traditional business, but it doesn't have the overhead, it doesn't have things that our perfect business, the Juice Plus company, has, like Christie was sharing. So, and even Robert Kiyosaki, I wish that I had known this or heard this before I went back to get my master's, but he says, people who go to school, they go to earn a paycheck, but people who want to earn income and build a life, they get into network marketing. So I wish that I had known these things. I wish that I had really believed that this career was for me. And as I'm learning, and I've done some things to change my life, I really highly believe in you have to work on your personal development, and Christie had shared a little bit about that. I needed to build my confidence. Being an introvert, I'd rather stay home and read a book than go out and meet new people. Even today, this is very difficult. The butterflies I had in my stomach and getting in front of an audience or even on a call is still somewhat of a challenge. But I do things daily for myself to build my confidence. I read daily affirmations. I listen to Earl Nightingale. I don't know if any of you are familiar with him. He is a brilliant man. He's actually since passed, but he's a former Marine, and he speaks on personal growth and business development. I love him, and he says, we become what we think about, and success is a progressive realization of a worthy goal. And so all these things that this Juice Plus company does, it's not, yes, we do share Juice Plus, we do share health, we help people get healthier, we're surrounded by wonderful people, but we get to take charge of our life, we get to take control of our finances, we get to experience things that we want to experience and do them with people that we want to do them with, and develop business relationships with people that we want to work with. We get to contribute to organizations that we want to contribute to. There's all these things that you get with this Juice Plus company, and I'm forever grateful. My husband retired from the Marine Corps, and he works beside me. We are raising our little boy, and we're doing it together. We're stay-at-home parents, and we're building a legacy for him. But there's nothing more I can say about just how fortunate we are to be in the right place at the right time with this incredible company. I didn't really share much about other like what was on my bio, so if anybody has any questions about that, I'm happy to answer, because the product story, I do have a great journey with that too, but I only have 5 minutes left, so are there any questions?
Oh, that's what happened. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now. I just muted everyone so you can hear Christine. But what I may do is mute you guys until you have a question, since it is so loud. Unless you want to hear her product story. No questions for Christine?
All right, there we go. Let's start it.
Okay, Okay. So, maybe we should hear your product story from
Okay.
intro.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, I don't know who's familiar with Transform 30, but it is a program that, it's actually Transform 365 for us. So it's not just a 30-day challenge for us. It's, you give up gluten and dairy, and you cram more fruits and vegetables in way of our complete shake. I've been taking Juice Plus capsules, the one healthy habit I've done consistent for 20 years. I mean, I'm a runner, but I don't run every day, but I've been taking Juice Plus for 20 years. And that has really given me that strength in my immune system in so many ways. And but the complete shake adds the macronutrition of 14 more plants. And I would just drink that on occasion. Well, I started drinking twice a day, and we still do drink twice a day. With that, like I mentioned in my bio, or like Christie shared, is that we've been trying to get pregnant for quite some time. We kind of gave up for a while when we lived overseas, and we were looking at adoption and everything. And when Mitra shared Transform 30, I thought, well, I'm not going to give up dairy, but my body needed to give up dairy. There was some inflammation happening that I didn't know about. I'd given up gluten in 2011 because I am allergic to that. But so I found that dairy too reacts the same way. They kind of mimic each other. So in giving that up and then going for fertility treatments, which we had tried in 2007 unsuccessfully. So that's why I really believe that cramming 40 plus plants in your body twice a day really made a profound difference in my health. I started running faster, and I wasn't training any differently. That was a big deal for me because I've always been like a recreational runner, but I was coaching like beginners, and so I would run their pace. And then I started running, and the last run that I did before I got pregnant, I just kept this 8:24 pace. I ran a half marathon, and I was like, I ran like 5 times this month. I can't believe I was just running faster, performing stronger. And they say performance is 80% nutrition and only 20% performance, or 20% physical, so training. So performance is 80% nutrition, 20% physical training. So, and that's absolutely true. And I saw that firsthand with Transform 30. But then when we went in for fertility treatment, my age, my maternal age is up there, but I don't feel my age. And so the doctor, the fertility doctor, she said, you have a very slim chance you're gonna get pregnant. So we even bought you buy 2 and you get 1 chance, free, the 3rd try. We did that. We paid the extra money for that because we really wanted to try this one last time. I was feeling as healthy as I felt. So we did. Well, we got pregnant the first time, and I really believe that it's cramming the maximum amount of fruits and vegetables every day into our body through Juice Plus and the complete shake that just made the environment healthy for the baby. My maternal age, my baby did come early, but he was healthy. I mean, the doctor said at delivery, during the cesarean, they couldn't believe the size of his umbilical cord. And the doctor, and I quote him, he said he must have had good nutrition. And he was in the hospital, the NICU, just for grow and feed. That was all. So he was a healthy little boy. He's still a healthy little boy, and he's thriving and he's growing, and he's caught up to his peers now. Like he's actually on the normal charts and everything. So and I really believe that Juice Plus played a huge role in that.
Amazing. All right, we're about to get cut off. Thank you, Christine. You wrapped it up so well. If you guys have questions, utilize that Facebook event that we invited you to. I'm going to post this video on here so everybody can get a recap, and hit us up with any questions. Don't say no until you know all the information. Thank you for being amazing military spouses and for giving us your time.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.